Friends, Greg Newmaster coming at you again with another action figure review. Today I have Star Wars The Vintage Collection, the best collection in my opinion, Vizsla from the Clone Wars. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and help me to build my channel. Thank you very much and God bless you all. Vizsla, what a great character in my opinion. Just fleshing out the history of the Mandalorians, which we got to see in the Clone Wars. I just got to say, the Clone Wars, what a great show. Everything that we wanted in the prequel trilogy was in that show. It was what the prequels could have been, and they make the prequels so much more enjoyable. We have the dynamic of the clones, and instead of them just being faceless clones, they have personalities, and we get great characters like Rex. And then, in newer days, we have the Bad Batch and how much fun they are. We get the history of the Mandalorians, finally. Who would have thought that just a unique-looking character such as Boba Fett would turn into this big story with the Mandalorians, and and we get to see all of that in the Clone Wars, and now we get to see it continued on in the Mandalorian, the TV show, and what a great hit that was. And that's been some of the best Disney Star Wars content, in my opinion. And then just the backstory of Anakin and Obi-Wan and fleshing out their characters and making Anakin heroic instead of a punk, which he was in episode 2. George Lucas never gave the audience the opportunity to like him as a hero. He was this legendary hero, this great Jedi, the greatest Jedi, and then to see his fall, which we didn't get the emotional impact of because he was such a jerk in episode 2. There was nothing attractive or heroic about him. He was just a show-off and arrogant. And then we get to see it briefly in episode 3, but his story is already at an end, and he's about to become Darth Vader, and then we get that all in the Clone Wars. Anyhow, back to Vizsla, we get the Darksaber, which has now been a focal point in The Mandalorian. Vizsla was a radical on his home planet. He started the group Death Watch. He was aggressive, and he was into the Mandalorian traditions of strength and power, where Duchess Satine Kryze, sister of Bo-Katan, was more peaceful and diplomatic, very counterintuitive to what the Mandalorians are, because the Mandalorians were like the ancient Spartans. That's what they remind me of. They were tough and warriors. And Duchess Satine, who was the crush of Obi-Wan Kenobi, was trying to be peaceful and diplomatic. Vizsla wanted power. He had the Darksaber, which came from the legendary Mandalorian who was a Jedi and who forged the Darksaber. And the Darksaber was legendary because it was meant to unite the Mandalorian clans. Vizsla eventually gets into power briefly, but is then killed by Darth Maul. And just a great story. And then we get his successor, Vizsla, in The Mandalorian, who was a really fun character. But just the lore of the Darksaber, just the lore of, I believe his name was Tar Vizsla, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, who was the legendary Jedi Mandalorian who forged the Darksaber. So just a great backstory, and it was really fun to see in the Clone Wars, and I can't speak highly enough of the Clone Wars and what a great show that was. So I'm very excited to get this action figure. He looks great. I love the realistic look versus the animated look. So here's the card. You get that animated picture, which looks fine. Here's the new descriptions on the back, which the little kid in me prefers to see all the figures that come in the series. Somebody online pointed out that they stopped doing that to hide what figures are coming, which is really a bummer because I want to know what figures are coming. So this is Vintage Collection $2.99. Vizsla was governor of Concordia, a moon of Mandalore during the Clone Wars. Behind closed doors, he led Death Watch, a secret group of commandos seeking control of Mandalore. And Death Watch, which is the group that Mando or Din Djarin was raised in, turned into a fundamentalist religion at this point, where they don't take off their helmets ever. They always, harken back to "this is the way" language. Very cult-like in how they behave with their Mandalorian heritage, which is a big contrast to Bo-Katan, who takes off her helmet, sort of lives a little bit more of a normal life, even though she is the queen or wants to be the queen of the Mandalorians. But just a really fun story dynamic. So that's the back of the card. Let's pull this figure out, get a good look at him. I hate these directions or whatever it is, some sort of warning thing. What a good looking figure. This is so nice looking. He looks amazing. I mean, look at jeez, oh man, look at that jetpack. What a great looking jetpack. The detail, just the design, very different than the standard Boba Fett jetpack or the Mando jetpack. Really awesome design. Looks fantastic. Here's what he looks like from the back. And since I took the jetpack off, I'm going to put it back on for you. Love the symbol on his chest. Beautiful paint design. Look at that face, man. What a great face. Wow, that looks very intimidating, very tough and haggard versus the animated form. I love the realistic look of this face. Just amazing. And once again, this always impresses me because this is at a 4-inch scale, 3.75 inches. Looks amazing. Articulation. Let's check out the head. Is it on? Yeah, we're on the double barbell joint with the head. So that's nice. Look, you can even see the scars on his face, like on his cheek. And it looks like there's like some stubble, like he hasn't shaved on his face. I mean, I can't believe they can do that for how small this is. So he's on a double barbell joint with the head. Got some nice range of motion. Torso articulation. I love this. I can't believe they have this now. It's so great. It's on a ball joint. Shoulders go up about that high. Really nice range of motion. We got more than 90 degrees in the elbow, which is fantastic. You don't even need the double jointed knees and elbows. We got the nice vertical wrist articulation for holding weapons versus the horizontal, where the peg is like horizontal on the wrist. So instead of doing that, it does this, which is better when you have figures that have weapons, in my opinion. We got the nice shoulder pads on the top there. We got the T joints in the hips instead of the Y joints, which I appreciate. These are the best joints for the hips, and I'm glad Hasbro finally got the memo and just started making all the new figures like this. Great knee bend, a little bit more than 90, which is awesome. We got the hinge in the ankles, and we got ankle pivot as well, which is awesome. Wow, look at the detail on the bottom of the boots. There's even tread and traction on the bottom of his boots. Knee joints look great. What a great design. Just the paint on his gauntlets or greaves, bracers. The belt looks great. looks awesome. Great figure. Let's get a look at the helmet. And, oh, this is cool. So this is it's not a swappable head. It's a removable helmet. And a beautiful helmet it is. Look at that. And they can always do these removable helmets with bald characters versus characters with hair. And then they can proportion them nicely. I think the helmet looks good. It doesn't look too big like Axe Woves, where it looks kind of ridiculous. It looks really good. Really good looking helmet. Goes on there perfectly. I love the proportions, so that looks really nice in my opinion. What else do we get? He comes with... We get 2 blasters. So we'll get a quick look at those. And they're just like your small, sleek, sort of clone blasters. Which go in there nicely. You can holster them, which I love. And what else do we get? Well, you all know what we get, but let's put that in his hand so you guys can see what that looks like. And fits in there nicely. There's no paint on the blaster. It's just a sleek looking blaster, but looks really good. And then last but not least, we get the Darksaber, which, yeah, I've kind of, the Darksabers have been kind of flimsy compared to the traditional lightsabers. I know it's supposed to be a sleek looking blade, but I wish they would just make it a little bit bigger and thicker. But that's a really good looking Darksaber compared to other ones we have. So this is the one, the Darksaber that came with Mando in the N1 starship. And pre-Vizsla's, looks like they improved it with the painting. So you can see a lot of nice details on pre-Vizsla's compared to Mando's. So pre-Vizsla has a really nice looking improved Darksaber, which is pretty awesome. So I like that a lot. Great looking figure. And last but not least, here he is compared to his descendant, Paz Vizsla. Look at how much bigger Paz Vizsla is compared to him. He's huge. And here he is next to Mando. So we got 3 Mandalorians there. And then here he is next to my modified Jedi Academy Luke Skywalker, who is, Luke is generally shorter. But this is the new Jedi Academy Luke Skywalker kit bash with the belt from the lightsaber building Luke with Episode 2 Anakin's tunic from a 3-pack I got years ago. And to me, this is the perfect Luke. They just need to like do this for real. Because this is the perfect Luke in terms of sculpt and articulation. The only thing that was missing was his robes. Anyhow, if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. That's pre-Vizsla. Awesome Mandalorian figure. God bless you all. Peace.